Seriously, right?
Yo, 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 what's going on, all the great people and all the great land? It's your guy, Nicholas Wilcox. It's your guy, Johnny Main. It's your guy, Haywood, up in the chat.
Yo, what is up? What's going on, fellas? Johnny Main, Nick Wilcox. Absolutely love being here. Grateful, fired up for this opportunity to be on with you guys. No other place I would rather be. What's up, fellas?
Just out here, just living our best East Coast life out here, 9 o'clock in the morning. You out there on the West Coast time, man. God bless you for being here, man, at 6 a.m. What is it, 6:30 out there, man?
Yeah. When 6:30 when I woke up, got my cup of coffee, got a brand new cup, Back to the Future. We're going to be the almanac for the people today. Let's bring it.
Okay. I love it. I love
that. So, Haywood, if you first time here showing us love, you make sure you also follow Haywood on X. He's _ Haywood. How do I say your last name? Because I don't want to butcher it.
All right. So is this a R show, PG show? I mean,
it's a Let It Fly show, brother.
All right.
It's a Let It Fly show.
So there's two ways you could say it. It's Haywood. The professional way is Haywood Giablomi, but the origins of my name created my boy Snoop Von Poop trying to push me on socials. Haywood Giablomi.
All right. Okay. All right.
So if you're a butthead, it's Giablomi. If not, it's Haywood Giablomi.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. There it is, folks. There it is. Week 6 of the fantasy football show with the DFS, the props, the bets, and guess what? Your star sets. We got all questions we're gonna be answering throughout the show. So if you got them, drop them. Again, first time here, feel free to follow us on the X. Feel free to follow the YouTube, like the video, subscribe to get all the notifications so we can give you guys the best of the fantasy football world. All your needs for fantasy football here with us twice on Sunday and Monday night as well. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. Again, week 6, about to pop in. We got some things that obviously are already circling. We'll start with the first game for the 1 o'clock games. We have the Cards getting 9.5, going on the road to Indianapolis, over under 46.5. The line has literally changed. It was probably 6.5, whatever. But obviously the news of Kyler Murray now being out with a potential Liz Frank injury. And then we have Jacoby Brissett now starting for Arizona. So yeah, guys, take it away. What are we seeing here so far? Any trends, any things we need to update the people on, especially if people are in Superflex leagues and need to pick up Brissett to start? That'd be a great option. But obviously we have a Cardinal, truther in the house. So we'll start with Haywood on this one. Your thoughts on this game overall?
Take the Colts plus 20.
Nice. Like a true fan.
Just get it out of the way. Still my liver's recuperating from last Sunday still. But
recuperate again, huh?
Yeah. Jacoby Brissett can definitely be a second quarterback in Superflex. I could see him having a good game today as far as that goes. Their Colts are a little banged up in the secondary. One thing I caught at every training camp that I went to, he had a good rapport with McBride. Every time he took the ball, he always dishing him a little bit more than usual. So just one thing to look out for. But yeah, Kyler being out, the Liz Frank or sprained upper groin is what you want to call it. All
right. No, man. This is definitely, I feel like it's definitely a cult spot, no doubt. One of the narratives, man, I can't believe nobody's been talking about it, and now it's really coming to fruition, full bore now at this point. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yep,
playing in Indy, and then now we also have Jacoby Brissett, former Indianapolis Colts backup quarterback.
Revenge.
I think there's something to be said here, man, in that space. And no one's really seen the narrative, man. I wanted to make a video about it. Didn't really just have the time, but I think that's that's a spot. And I definitely love the Trey McBride call out for sure, because I think this is definitely like a solid spot for him as well. The Cardinals, man, when I was looking at things, man, I'm pretty sure the Cardinals have actually been okay against the run. I mean, JT is JT, JT is JT. So, you always got to put some respect on it from that side of things. But yeah, man, I definitely like the Colts in this space. JT, man, he's the highest owned player, as he rightfully should be in this game at 20%, followed by Trey McBride at 14 on the card side. But ironically enough, Tyler Warren, who's, in my opinion, looks like he's priced down quite a bit, man, on DraftKings when you go and you look at things. So, like, this might be a sneaky spot to slide him into if you're playing in GPP, or even if you're playing in, like, some single games. Like, he's definitely on the table and on the books for any DFS lineup, specifically DraftKings.
Yeah, 4,900 for Tyler Warren on DraftKings makes a ton of sense as a locked in like tight end that you use knowledge for cash games, but pretty much a staple for the most part for GPPs. The guy I think that may not get enough love here is Michael Carter, 5,300. If you're looking for a cheap option, there's going to be plenty of them, but to get a little bit different again, we all saw what happened with DeMarcado on the sidelines with his coach last week after he pretty much replays did show that he did score before that happened, but for whatever reason didn't get reversed. Just want to note that. But I think obviously all the drama that happened with him, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't play much at all today. And Michael Carter, 5,300, like I said, is going to be a little bit of a pivot off of some other options that are cheaper today for DFS lineups. Obviously, season long, you're going to look to start him as well. He's a solid RB2 start potentially in a game where it could get out of hand as well. So that being said, I do a couple of notes to have for this. Cardinal defense plays a lot of cover 4. They played the most in the NFL. So with Daniel Jones, he kind of shies away from cover 4. So the deep ball rate drops, and also the A-dot drops for him when it comes to cover 4 defenses. So that being said, I expect a lot of Tyler Warren today. I expect a lot of potential Josh Downs today. Just getting a lot of short and intermediate stuff, quick fire stuff. And then with Jonathan Taylor, with him, 8,500 on DraftKings. The price doesn't scare me on this one because I do think that the game scripts shows up for Jonathan Taylor once again in this spot. When Jonathan Taylor and the Colts have a formidable lead when it comes to being ahead in games, he just becomes a superstar. He just becomes a heck of a grinder. Averages 26 DraftKings points per game in these spots. So Jonathan Taylor for me, 8,500, where I'm sure people will get to McCaffrey. I'm sure people will get to other options at running back. I'm not going to shy away from Jonathan Taylor, especially if I'm playing tournaments today, because 8,500 still feels a little cheap. I realistically believe that Jonathan Taylor should be 9K for this type of slate. I know pricing, just looking at it, has been a bit more tight in general today. So I think people may not get to this spot, but I do think this is a spot where people need to be getting to have some decent safety, but also some good ceiling as well.
Great call on your cover 4, Nick. Totally right. That's totally what we're aligned to do. And I like your guys' points about with the receivers. Jonathan Taylor might be very chalky, but he's, we are in the top 10 against run D. And we're still banged up in the secondary. So I could see Downs underneath stuff being wide open. And good point with a little bit of revenge narrative with Brissett, totally. And Marvin Harrison going to play his old dad's team is kind of crazy, huh? We're getting old, aren't we?
Man, if he don't if it makes Jay, if it don't pop for him today, in this spot, then win.
Well, Adam Scheffler is now reporting that Bam Knight is starting over Michael Carter. Also, Adam Scheffler just reported that Kyler Murray is going to be officially out today, so which we pretty much thought was going to happen. But yeah, the Bam Knight stuff, I mean, I still think Michael Carter could still have a nice role, you know what I'm saying, in this situation, because I don't think Bam Knight would be playing the passing down role unless we're completely wrong about this. But this does put a little bit of damper on what I just said, but I was still, even then, still have, I think Michael Carter could still have opportunities to catch the ball at the backfield and stuff too. So
it's why you tune in here, folks. You get your news, your knowledge, and breaking news. Look at that.
Literally.
Love it.
Literally.
Love it.
To the next game we go. We got the Chargers. Oh, sorry. Well, you guys got the Colts obviously right in this spot. Is anyone taking the points for the Cardinals today?
Like I said, all the other way. All right the other way.
Oh, man.
Got it.
I'm a realist.
Is the over under or do we think that these
I'll
The
take the
problem
under.
is,
I'll take the under. I like the under on the 46.5. I don't think we're going to do much anyway. And I don't see it, I could see it being like a 24-13 type of game, or excuse me, 23-20, 24-10 type of game. So, yeah, I'll take the under if I had to bet one.
all right.
I know. I'm probably just staying away from this one, honestly. But if you made me pick one side or the other, the points or the over/under, I probably would actually take the Colts and the points. Actually,
yeah, I'll take the over on this one. Yeah, I mean, I'll take the Colts and the points over. What it is. Chargers, Dolphins. Chargers getting 4.5 going on the road to Miami. Take on the Dolphins. Over/under right now 44.5. What are we saying about this game in general? My little take on this is that this game might be a bit more tiring than what the books are calling. Chargers going on the road is just not, West Coast to East Coast is always a factor.
Sounds familiar.
The Chargers offensive line woes, them not having their best tackles. I'm not even sure if Becton is starting at guard today. So there's a lot of ifs on this offensive line. Obviously now no Hampton. So you're going to be splitting. There's announcement that Haskins is going to be getting the first crack at least at the start. So, I mean, there's a lot of things for the Chargers side that I'm like 4.5 just seems a bit more generous in this spot for Miami being at home. I know Miami hasn't been like the total best team, especially defensively. And that's where I would take the over on this. But I'll say I think Miami can play this game a little tighter. I'm going to take the plus 4.5 for them in this spot in Miami at home where they know that they still have to keep up things in terms of, if they want to stay competitive in the AFC race alone. So what you guys got to say?
Yeah, this is a weird game for me because I think there's definitely like a couple call outs. Like Joe Alt's definitely not playing today. Mekhi Becton just checked the injury report. It doesn't say anything yet, but obviously we haven't quite got to that window yet for official, starts and outs or whatnot. The one thing I am looking at in this space, from a DFS side of things, is I'm looking at the Chargers running back situation. I think that's a spot where if you get it right today, on this slate with one of those running backs, you could be in for a big payday. And Kamani Vidal is actually somebody I'm just going to take the risk and pay him. He's going to be one of my pay down options just to get a little bit different. But so far this year, obviously Rico Dowdle had his career day last week against the Dolphins. James Cook threw up 108 yards. Breece Hall had 81. JT had a little bit of a slow day against him, but that was week one whenever they just found multiple ways to beat them down. So I think there's definitely something to be said there. And then obviously we got the Quentin Johnston information as well. He might be out also. So now Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey are definitely in play as well. And then Justin Herbert, man, he's thrown more interceptions already this year than he has from last year, man. So I think the Chargers, I talk about it all the time, man. We're always in that space where where it's recency bias, right? And week 1 and week 2 was a long time. It was a long time ago, right? And over the last 2 or 3 weeks, the Chargers have just not put out a good product on the field. And my guy that I definitely don't like, Tua Tagovailoa, he's had a couple of solid games, man. So I think I'm gonna actually go. I'm gonna lean towards the Dolphins in the points on this one right here. I'm gonna lean. Yeah,
I didn't even know that this morning.
No, man. I think it's been well documented. I'm not a big Tua guy by any
Very
stretch. I'm not a big Tua guy for sure. Ownership in this space, obviously Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey, 17 and 18% respectively, followed by Devon Achane at 14%, coming off of a little bit of a stinker for us last week, man. He didn't do what we were hoping to do, man. Almost 42% on in the tournament I played last week on DraftKings. So maybe this is a get right spot for him. I think more so in the receiving game than anything. But then you got Jalen Waddle, man. This could be a really nice bounce back spot for him. He's not priced appropriately as far as the number 1 wide receiver. So I think there's a lot of potential good things here. I think this game could be a sneaky shootout. So give me the Fins.
I like it. Good points with trying to find the right running back. If you could get it right today for the Chargers, yeah, that could be definitely big, especially in your DFS. That's what I'm leaning to there. They're a, like you said, cheap pay down. If you guys had to choose, if you're forced, which running back are you starting?
Come on, Iguodala. Like that's just where I'm gonna go, man. Like, you know, it's upside, but obviously you got to deal with the Harbaugh effect. You know, I was talking about it last week. Like everything just feels like Haskins would be like his Gus Edwards in this offense, and like there was nothing more annoying than Gus Edwards. The Gus bus was highly annoying. So yeah, but give me Vidal for sure.
Definitely. So I got Vidal in one of my daily lineups as well, one of my pay down options, therefore I can load up everywhere else. You know, with the Quentin Johnson news as well, like he said, folks, Lad McConkey can finally have a breakout game, right? That could be Lad's day. It could be. So yeah, definitely.
Whole lot.
Next game, we got the Patriots going on the road to New Orleans, take on the Saints. Patriots in the spot, getting 3.5 on the road as a road favorite. Over under 46.5. I would say this, like, this is you look at Kayshon Boutte, right? Someone I've not been a fan of. 3,800 on DraftKings today, returns home, played at LSU. So this could be a spot where, like I said, on a slate where definitely pricing is tight across the industry for DFS lineups. I think Kayshon Boutte makes some sense for DraftKings in particular, just because, like, 3,800 is, you could sneeze at that price today, but I think he'll be in a spot where he will not have a ton of ownership. I think the Saints can keep this game a bit of competitiveness, especially being at home. So we saw that last week, obviously, with the Giants with them. So the Patriots defense has been playing pretty well as well. So, look, I think I'm going to take the Patriots still with the points, probably tease it down to a 3 versus a 3.5. And I'll take the over on this because I do think that the Saints, because they play fast, there's going to be plenty more opportunities in a spot when you probably wouldn't probably notice. So that's wheels up for Drake May, wheels up for Stephon Diggs, Hunter Henry. And we'll see what happens with the running back situation for the Patriots, because with Stevenson and Trevion Henderson, who most of us been waiting for, we just have to find out what's going on here, because now with Antonio Gibson out for the season, there is a potential more touch of volume going at least to Henderson's way to find out if he can get more involved usage wise. But Stevenson ain't going away. He's pretty much the goal line back right now. So he probably looks like the goal line back in these situations, and that's just kind of what it is. So like I said, give me the Patriots, tease it to a 3.5, and I'll take the over 46.5. For the DFS side of things, like Olave 5,100. This is a game where even the Saints are in a competitive situation. Olave should be getting a ton of touches. Shaheed obviously had that big play last week. I'm not too sure if that will happen in this spot again, but it's totally on the table. But again, like, we don't know what the running back situation with the Saints is going down with. Kamara is now being in trade talks and all these things too. So if Kendre Miller's still out there for you guys, like, I would pick him up and just stash him on the bench if he's somehow still out there. Because if Kamara gets traded, all of a sudden it becomes a very interesting situation.
Yeah, I think like there's definitely like a lot of moving parts to this one for sure. Like one of the call outs, man, is the Patriots just against like receivers have just in general haven't been very good. They've also had some opportunity against tight end guys like Dalton Kincaid and Brock Bowers have diced them this year. So like, is this a Taysom Hill spot? Is this a Juwan Johnson resurrection spot here? Don't know. The Saints, but then also too, the Saints have done a really good job, like against receivers overall. They haven't allowed anybody. They haven't allowed 100 yards to any receiver so far this year. While Steph Diggs is picking up a ton of ownership. I don't know. I think like that's a place that like I'm playing in GPPs over on FanDuel, but I'm not getting above the field. But I'm playing him aggressively, I guess would be the best way to put it. Maybe I think he's like coming in like 30% or so. I'd have to like switch it around from DraftKings to FanDuel. But yeah, I'm a little bit hesitant in that space. I think Drake May naked makes a lot more sense than just like running some kind of stack with Drake May and Steph Diggs or any of those guys. So if I'm going to do anything, that's probably the direction that I am going to go. As far as the game overall, like I think this is a really good place too. Like if you want to pay down for defense, I'm cool with paying down for the Saints defense. I think like, again, man, like they're pesky, they're feisty, like they're not a pushover. And I think a lot of times, like we see in games like this, emotionally, when teams come back from a big win like that, sometimes there can be a letdown. So I'm like, I think this, like, it might not be a very sexy game in terms of like points being scored, but I think for like football purists, I think today it should be a pretty good game. It like, and you're right, man. Travion Henderson, man, like everybody's waiting on him, man. Like I'm sitting here waiting, and I'm like, all right, like is this the time? Is this the time? Although I will say, like the Saints, like the one guy that, and I mean, whatever, we can take it with a grain of salt, but the one guy that did get off on them this year was James Cook, which he's done that to everybody pretty much except for the Patriots. So yeah, like that's where I'm at, like in that space, and I'm just trying to get to the ownership in this game. But like I said, like there's not a lot to like love, and I think the general field getting to this game, I think, is just where you can get different by moving off of some of these players. Olave still leading the league in targets, ain't doing nothing with it, so like that's just almost kind of counterproductive. But like, who knows, man? Maybe this is the week. So yeah, so I guess like in this space for sure. I'm gonna actually, I got two more things. I'm gonna take the under in this game, and I will take the Patriots straight up. I think they find some way to win, and the main reason why is just because the Saints are not a very aggressive defense, and Drake May, I think he's 8th in the league right now, like as far as like completion percentage or something in that space as far as not being blitzed. So like if they're not going to come after him today, Drake may have one of those days where it is Keyshawn Booty and Mac Hollins and, you know, all these random players. So more GPP. Mac Jones. I mean, that's my guy. Mac Hollins. No, man, I just triggered. It was like, man, it's like you knew what to say.
That's 2 teams ago.
So yeah, so that's what I got, man.
Yeah, I definitely for sure. Mr. Tight End Whisperer, Nick, just help me out here. Didn't Johnson have 84% of the snap share last week, even having a down game with Taysom Hill? Is that correct? Around there?
Yeah. The problem, I think that I'm really looking at this week is that, you know, I did write up about Taysom Hill, obviously, because he should be stashed because of the way he's multifaceted used. Because obviously coming as a backup running back, he can come in as a tight end, he can come in as a backup quarterback. So there's multiple ways that feels like he's still getting in this regime as well, that he's very multifaceted. So when it comes to Juwan, I think we still have to wait. I still want to wait this out before you get too crazy and drop him everywhere and stuff like that and all that. Because look, Taysom Hill just plays a different type of role here. We know Juwan Johnson is still has opportunity. So I do want to see how this game checks out in this one before you get crazy and then you is he droppable or whatever. Let's just see how things go.
Thank you. And John, I agree. This ain't gonna be a sexy game, but I think the Saints are gonna come out to Shawn Michaels music today as they walk the tunnel. Right? Yeah, love it. And Nick, I love the Olave. He's super cheap. Yeah, I mean, who can get 15, 20 targets a game but still have low numbers on as far as overall production? But yeah, I love Diggs in this game. He has a great matchup. He's been eating up the last few weeks. I like him. He's one of my daily lineups. That's something I really like as well. The Saints play a little bit better D at home. So I'm going to as far as betting goes, as you guys know, I like the alt line. So I got a plus 124 just for this one. I put New England minus 2.5. So just cover a field goal, drop it down a little bit. And then I put under 52.5. It's at a plus 124 bet. That's pretty damn solid in my opinion. That's one thing I really like. And yeah.
All right.
I like that. The next game we go, Browns, Steelers. AFC North showdown. Browns getting 5.5 in a row going to Pittsburgh. You're over under 37.5 in this one. Johnny, take it away.
Yeah, this game scares me. And I'll tell you why it scares me. It scares me because Cleveland is actually really good at all of the things that we're not good at. Coinshot Junkins, I tweeted out last week, that was somebody that like you couldn't have paid me enough money in August and late July to take. And I had 0 shares of him anywhere. And that looks like that is coming back to bite me. And it looks like he might be one of the best, if not the best running back in this class. And the Steelers definitely have an opportunity stopping the run. Everybody and their mom has been, going hammer time on them as far as the run game goes. So that definitely makes me nervous. And then the Cleveland Browns defensive line, man, like, one of the things like I always said about the Browns is I I don't like them. I think that's well documented. But defensively and their defensive line, like they're definitely one of the better ones, like in football. So this is going to be like a really tough matchup for the Steelers today. So this is not going to be a walk in the park. I know they're starting Dylan Gabriel today. And that's awesome. Like typically the Steelers have done well against rookie quarterbacks. But one of the other problems for the Steelers has also been guys that are a little bit mobile. So that could be a problem as well. Quinshon Judkins, I don't mind playing him in DFS lineups. It's like a double negative, so I'm hoping I can put some kind of bad juju on him by playing him in DFS lineups, and the Steelers just actually shut him down. But Breece Hall and Ken Walker already this year, like you've seen what those guys were able to do. Ken Walker, averaging 8.1 yards per carry whenever he played against him. Quinshon Judkins definitely has that type of capability and that type of game-breaking ability. So there's that. And then too, man, like the tight ends for the Browns, that's the best way to negate like one of the Steelers' best attributes, right? Is those aggressive pass rushing linebackers that they have, is to put some tight ends out there in space and make those guys cover. Although we are getting Bishop back, so like that's a win. We also getting JPJ back today, so that's also a win as well today. So this game smells like under all day long here. And then like obviously again, like you're looking at like defenses and things like that from like a DFS side of things. Like I think you can make the argument you can play either one of these teams. Like the Browns, I'm pretty sure like dirt cheap as far as defense goes. So overall for this game, I got to ride with my Steelers, man, like all day long for sure, and twice on Sunday. Give me the under, and then hopefully we find some kind of a run game today offensively. Hopefully, I'm Ron Burgundy.
John, the Steelers are your team, brother?
Yeah, that's me.
Man, yeah. February 2nd, 2009, we were not friends.
Oh my gosh, I know. Oh my gosh, yeah, one of the greatest. I know. I won't go there. It was one of the greatest plays ever, man. You brought it up, man. It was one of the greatest plays ever.
That was one of the greatest Super Bowls ever for entertainment. That was a great freaking Super Bowl. I called off work the next 4 days, so. Yeah, I was depressed.
Oh man, I feel like we're spirit animals, man.
Yeah. What do they call when you have to call police to check on somebody? A welfare check. My boss.
Wellness check.
Yeah, my boss came over to my house and did a wellness check on me because it was bad.
Oh man, I love it.
Y'all are a mess. You guys are a mess. What I'll say about the Browns side of the things is that they are, well, technically the Steelers side of things. Steelers allow the fourth most explosive run rate. And they're pretty poor against man gap schemes. The Browns use this today in this spot. And, Judkins is obviously a guy that we weren't exactly in love with. We were on Dylan Sampson because we thought Sampson would have a decent role, have something where, all right, he would be able to fit in better with his offense. And we didn't know what was going to happen with Judkins in general. So, yeah, like, it is what it is. We hit some and we miss some. It is what it is. But also Steelers are also bottom 5 in success rate per allowed. So again, like I think Judkins has become one of those running backs that is just game script proof, where the Browns are going to look to run the ball almost no matter what, and they're going to use it with Judkins. We've seen it constantly since he's been inserted as a full-time starter. So yeah, man, like. I do think the Browns have as an interesting spot for them. I don't mind taking the plus 5.5 because I do think that Aaron Rodgers, like if he's not on his game early, obviously the Browns defense is one of the best defensive units in football right now. So that's going to give them the opportunity to keep this thing close. Obviously it'll be on Dylan Gabriel and this offense to somehow get offensive points on the board. So, I mean, Steelers covering 5.5 is just tricky. So I'll just take the Browns for the plus 5.5. In hopes that, again, like they find themselves, sticking with this game that's expected to be ugly.
Totally. I agree with the under, fellas. Hey, why not put $1 on this? No touchdowns in the game. Ooh. It's like plus 10,000, like 100 to 1. Just put $1 on.
I don't mind that one.
I like that, right?
No, I like that.
Bring in the little nuggets, as you like to say, brother.
I love it, man. I love that, man. That's a good call, bro. That's a good one. I think like just like not to go like off on a crazy tangent, but I think like that's a great call because like one of the things that happens, right? Like I know for like a lot of like just casual like sports bettors, right? Is like we're on, just looking at the big picture, right? And like not combing through like the fine details of things and seeing like where there's some opportunities at like as far as like the game and how the game flows, right? And like $1 on a situation like that right there, like definitely is makes it for a
$1.
Yeah, man, makes it for
Who says
solid.
you can't get anything for $1? A winning bet right here.
Ah, right here. Yes,
yeah,
I love it.
I love it, love it.
Good Lord. Dallas Panthers. Cowgirls. Cowboys. Getting 3 on the road going to Carolina.
You say cowgirls? Sorry,
Cowgirls. Cowgirls. Over under right now 48.5. It dropped a point since this morning. So I guess some decent money now coming in a little bit for Carolina. Because they've been decent at home. So for this game is pretty much the spot for a lot of us DFS guys today. Because there's a lot of way we could stack this game up. Dak Prescott is on a absolute 100% heater. And when it comes to this Panthers defense, they've kind of regressed a little bit to the mean for their defense, their secondary purposes at least. Panthers are a top 5 pass funnel. They play a ton of cover 3. So what happens in this spot for Dak Prescott, because he's the best against cover 3s, what happens is his deep ball throw rate increases up to 18%. And then when it comes to the other weapons on this offense, it becomes a lot more simple without CeeDee Lamb at the moment. All right, Johnny's guy, George Pickens, and our guy, because we touted Jake Ferguson all offseason.
Yes, you did.
Jake Ferguson, like literally now is the bona fide stud at tight end.
Great call, fellas. Great call.
Hey, we gotta take them as they come, You're right sometimes, and other times we'll look like fools, but it is what it is.
First time I watched
Ferguson, we stood on business on for sure about Jake Ferguson. So
first time I watched you guys, that's the first thing you talked about.
That was something that again, like we got the clips. But that being said, Ferguson increases his target per route run rate against cover 3. He has 40% right now against that. And that's obvious because you're going to want to do short and intermediate stuff with your tight ends against this cover 3 in general. So, and then Pickens is 35% against cover 3. So this is a spot where I love all the Dallas pieces that I just mentioned with Dak, Pickens, also Jake Ferg. You can go with any one or any 2 or 3 of those combinations and then bring it back. I think this is the week for Tedero. Because Dallas is similar to this spot as well defensively. They've shorted up a little bit, but they still are bleeding. When it comes to deep yardage allowed per the position. And look, I just think that in this spot, I think we could look at Bryce Young as well, 4,800. As crazy as that sounds. But he's someone that, again, like I do think with both of these defenses, like kind of still allowing a ton of yardage through the air. Bryce Young, 4,800 on DraftKings, along with Tedero McMillan, 6,000. Like, I think both of those guys, like, together makes a ton of sense, as well as obviously the Dallas side of things. So the other side of it is that Javonte Williams, man, how wrong were we on him? Leads all running backs right now in fantasy points per snap right now. And look, like Javonte Williams, like he's just been doing his thing. And regardless of the game script, he's still very much involved. And now with no Miles Sanders for the rest of the season, feel free to go pick up Jaden Blue because he's someone that, again, like we haven't seen much of him, but he's someone that if something happens to Javonte Williams, you might have a league winner in your hands with Jaden Blue because I do believe in the talent. But again, Javonte Williams has proven us wrong, made us look stupid and egg on our faces.
Me too. So don't worry about that. He's got us too.
It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, look, how are we seeing this game in your guys' view?
You want to take this one, Avon?
Great call on the Blue. Pick him up. I picked him up everywhere in every league this week, just looking out for the future. Totally could be a league winner. That dude is freaking fast as heck. He just hasn't had an opportunity. Javonte has had injuries in the past. It's hard for running backs to sustain this all year round. They're going to get hurt. Think ahead, guys. Go out and get Blue. He could definitely be a league winner. I like that call. Great call. And yeah, we're all wrong about Javonte. I was a year or two too early.
Same.
I had him everywhere the last
Same.
couple of years. I fell in love
Same.
with this guy. Great in
Same.
college. You know, he's my number one back that year as far as like what I saw.
I was a lot more on him last year because of just the Denver situation, but it he just for the most part just didn't seem healthy and stuff like that. So
he looks great with his cuts this year. He looks great. He looks like his back. Yeah, totally. Go ahead, John.
No, like this game right here, like there's definitely like a couple call outs. And I'll probably look crazy after this, but whatever. But Nick and I, we were kind of talking about this last week off air. I think like this is like a weird spot for Javonte. Like I like him. I do. Like I actually have him in my home league. He's not somebody I have like in my other 22 leagues, but I have him in my home league. It was just too good of a value to pass in like round.
He's lying. He's got like 123, everybody.
But like one of the things that like Carolina has actually been okay, and I want to put this in context, right? Like Bijan Robinson was the guy I think like we were talking about, Nick, like where he didn't score a touchdown, but he got over 100 total yards like in that space. So like the Panthers have actually done well against running backs, like overall. Like they haven't been like as bad as like you would think like a Carolina defense. So like I'm kind of hesitant to play a lot of Javonte this week because there is the potential of the coming back to earth moment. So I'm a little bit hesitant for that. Jake Ferguson is the guy for me at tight end today. You've seen what Darren Waller did. Trey McBride had a pretty solid day against him as well. And Jake Ferguson, obviously. Brenton Strange is also somebody else as well that had a pretty good game against him. So, like, this is a place where, like, as far as, like, tight ends goes, like, I think the Carolina Panthers can be exposed in that space. So I'm definitely playing Jake Ferguson today, and I'm playing him with a ton of confidence. Only 11% on DraftKings for sure. Yeah, and then Bryce Young, believe it or not, Bryce Young is actually in the top 10 in NFL in pass attempts. So, like, I'm playing a ton of him today in GPP on FanDuel. So, like, that this should be a game script where this environment should go crazy. However, I did see something that there was a little bit of some weather concerns going on there as well, like a little bit of wind. Said it shouldn't, like, crazy impact the game, but it's just something to be mindful of. And I think, like, with Bryce Young, right, like, not necessarily, like, the biggest arm in the game. So I think that could be something that could maybe detour people from playing him. But like one of the props that like, I definitely want to get on in some shape, form, or fashion today. Definitely want to get on a Jake Ferguson prop at some point. And I agree with Tedro. Today's definitely like a great place to play. And then George Pickens. Why not play George Pickens, man? Like, why not play George Pickens anywhere you can, man? Like, again, being a year early, I had him literally on every single team last year. This year, only like 75% of teams. But like got a lot of them. So yeah, man, like I said, like those are definitely like the places. And the Chuba Hubbard thing, man, like this is also interesting as well for me. And I don't know, maybe I'm just like a weirdo and a conspiracy theorist and stuff. But like the fact that like he came out last week and was like, oh, the Dallas Cowboys, they better get ready, they better buckle up.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like you just want to let sleeping dogs lie. You know what I mean? You just want to let sleeping dogs lie. So like I think there's a couple of narratives here that like I'm really paying attention to is A, how well does Carolina do against the run game for Dallas and Javonte Williams, and then obviously the Chuba Hubbard factor. So really I'm going to be looking a lot today at these run games and really manifesting a lot of positivity for Jake Ferguson today, having a monster day and breaking the slate.
Manifest. I love it. Preaching in existence, brother.
Preaching. That's it. Listen, I'm all about that life, man. I'm all about that. And I'll take the Cowboys too. I'll take the Cowboys in this game.
Taking people to church, preaching this morning. Johnny Main.
That's it, baby. That's it, baby. That's it.
If I could add one thing,
Sure.
The weather, you're totally right. There's like a 20 to 40% chance during the rain, light rain in that game. You made a lot of good points, man. There's a lot to one thing I looked at, Dowdell, right? Is he going to go off? When's the last time we had a RB run for 200 yards in 2 straight games, right?
Oh, man.
Has that Jamal? Was that Lewis back in the day?
That actually, I think you might have been right. It might have been. I don't know if it was Cleveland Browns or Baltimore Ravens. Jamal,
okay, that's what comes to mind. But so his lines are like 72.5 right now. That seems low to me. Doesn't it for you?
Yeah.
You guys?
No. In a revenge spot too? Like
So check this out. You guys will like this. So let's just say if you want to put a couple bucks on 150 plus yards, it's 12-1 right now. Just for example, if you want to drop a little sprinkle.
Now you sound like the casino.
Yeah, well, hey, man. I mean, as long as you win, whatever. Now, right?
Yeah, right.
Listen, I hope Mrs. Maine is watching this out here because she's gonna be like, listen, that's who you need to be talking to right there, like these little sprinkles. You need to quit. You need to quit going up there trying to do your Adam Dunn impression, man.
Hey, yo.
Oh yeah, I mean, I used to go to the casino all the time. I played one time. I don't know if you guys watched the show last night, but I told the story about when I played Kyler Murray blackjack in a high limit at a casino after a game for his rookie year against Atlanta. Me and my buddy, he goes by El Pupe online, not his name, obviously, but we go to the casino. He sits, Kyler comes in. We're in the high limit. He sits at the table next to us. We're like, heck, let's move over. So we moved over. The guy did not know how to play blackjack. We had to teach him, and we're playing big dollar hands. He stayed on a soft 16, y'all. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I don't know how to play. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know nothing about. Yeah, I would say I don't need to learn any more vices, man.
That's weird.
That's wild.
Yeah. He would. I mean, he had his agent, his mom, dad, his girl. His agent was a freaking Richard. I'll say it, Dick, whatever. But
yeah, it's all good.
We had to teach Kyler how to play, and he didn't want to take a picture or give us a fist bump afterwards. So me and my buddy went on a rage. We went like 500 a hand and won like 9-10 straight hands, and we pieced out. Bought rent. That was rent. Let's go.
That sounds like a Kyler Murray move. 100%.
That does.
That sounds like.
Unfortunately, it does.
Sounds like a Kyler move.
Cool little nugget.
Seahawks, Jags. Pretty much almost a pick 'em here. Seattle, slight favorite on the road going to Jacksonville. The 47.5 is the over under. Haywood, take us through it.
Oh man, put me on the spot on this one.
Sure did, buddy.
I like feeding off of you guys. I don't know. Since I'm throwing out a little bit of crazy bets, one thing I pick a couple weeks. I pick a couple games out every week where I think could be high scoring. This could be a high scoring games at 47.5. I can see it going up over. I could definitely see that. A touchdown field goal in each half is plus 1,700. I got $5 on that one. So that's a little nugget I got. But field goal, touchdown, it could happen. It happens a few times a year, and the odds are always crazy. But that's one thing I could bring to this table as far as for this game.
Okay. Well, Johnny?
Yeah, like there's definitely a couple things like I think the Jaguars definitely have they're a little bit softer in the pass game for sure. So I think obviously like with JSN, like this is obviously like a really good place to get to him. So I am playing him like in my daily lineups. Obviously Jamar Chase, obviously this was during the Joe Burrow era, 165, Nico Collins 104, CMC 92, Tyquan Thornton 90. So like they overall like the number one wide receivers tend to produce against this group here. So I think that's obviously like a really great call out. I think the market in DFS might be just a little bit, I don't know where they're at or like why, but like a lot of Trevor Lawrence is being played today. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I think he's like that, the soft rice, like they were talking about in The Hangover, 2 or 3, like Stu was like the soft warm rice that they feed the babies. I think that's kind of like Trevor Lawrence, but I think like this is also like a really good spot, like too, like obviously talking about like all the injuries that are going on for the Seahawks in the secondary. This could be a really good right spot for BTJ. This could be, obviously a Travis Hunter coming out party. He had a big play on Monday Night Football and everybody's like, oh my God. It's like, no, bro, like this is who he has been. Is he has been that guy for sure. The Jags have been good against, the run. So I don't know, man. I think like I agree. I think this could be a really big time spot here as far as like a shootout or a lot of points that could be scored. So what was the line again?
47.5.
47.5.
Yeah. And Seahawks minus 1.5 live on FanDuel just right now.
Yep.
I'm gonna stay with the Seahawks, man. I'm gonna stay with the Seahawks. I've seen it a lot earlier this year, man. Like I was like, all right, like seeing it in the preseason and seeing what they were looking to try to do like offensively, and I was like, okay, like the Seahawks are going to be fine and Sam Darnold's fine. So I'm going to continue to ride this wave with the Seahawks. So yeah, so give me the Seahawks. And then from an ownership perspective, I'll touch on that like super quick. Brian Thomas Jr. Finally, everybody's starting to wake up this morning. I wish they would have fell asleep. 12% owned for Brian Thomas Jr. So I like that. I definitely like that. It doesn't look like there's what am I missing here? Something is up here with my filters because this is not showing JSN, and that's definitely a problem. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you guys can go ahead. I'll pop back on whenever everything pops back on.
The problem is that when it
his
comes
line
to
just came back up. Sorry to interrupt. It was gone for a minute. Now it just came back up.
Okay.
What you mean the line?
JSN.
JSN.
Okay. JSN's line.
Well, the reason why people are buying Thomas right now is because Devin Witherspoon and Woolen are doubtful today, so they're down at third string corners already. So that's probably why people are on Brian Thomas. I think though Seattle might take a different approach and might just be able to take advantage of this run defense of the Jags. Like they've been a pretty decent unit, but their defense for DVOA right now is 24th when it comes to the run. So I think this is an opportunity for Kenneth Walker. And running backs average 4.6 yards a carry. So I do think it's a spot for Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet to potentially have a decent spot here to take advantage of. Obviously, when it comes to the quarterbacks, like this is definitely a spot where I agree with Haywood when he said this at the top of the game, is that this could be a sneaky spot where this can easily go over. We saw this somewhat similar spot-ish with last week with Seattle and Tampa.
Yeah.
So this could be a spot where I do think that we could be missing, some of us could be missing a mark on. And I do think that this is a spot where, okay, like, hey, we all know defenses right now are kind of ish when it comes to right now between injuries and also like performances. So yeah, I mean, look, I just think that people are on Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas because of just the secondary out of already they're pretty decent corners, both of them in the league. So this could be a spot where, yeah, I mean, Brian Thomas and dare I say Travis Hunter, because again, this could be a spot where Travis Hunter could potentially take advantage of. But I do think it's a game that people are though. I will take Seattle and I'll take the over in this game.
I like it. Ken Walker going to eat, and one of my guys in the preseason, every league, y'all know that. So Ken Walker owners got to be loving life this year so far.
Let me get in my lineup instead of Travis Etienne. Like, I'm not sure which one I'm starting.
Walker,
I'm definitely
Etienne.
in my head about this. Etienne or
tough.
Walker. I'm not sure which one. I got both of them because I'm like, well, I got Etienne so late in the draft, so I was like, all right, I'll just rock with it. Like, won't ask any questions. So.
When you're in like so many leagues and you have like that kind of a decision and you can't make a choice because they're both they're both studs, flip a coin, whatever. Or in my case, I don't have them in my other league, so hey, I'll play him over, because I'm playing him less in my other leagues. That's one thing. But that's a good, strong problem to have.
Running back room, yeah, no, right?
That's a problem to have.
It is what it is. What do you guys got for this game? You guys got Seattle, Jacksonville?
Oh, like I said, I'm taking Seattle.
Duval, Seacock, C Red. That's
right.
Bringing the fire.
I love it.
I spit fire. Let's go.
Dylon.
You're bringing the red, all right?
Oh man,
I'm still hurt from last Sunday, so let's go.
Oh, I'm sure. Last game in the 1 o'clocks. Rams are a 7-point favorite going into Baltimore. Where the over is 44.5. This spot in this game, like, there's a lot to love from the Ram side of things. It's obviously the question marks for the Ravens. The Ravens are a top 5 defense, still allowing in the top 5 for deep yards allowed. They allow second most yards, to quarterbacks. So the Ravens have been playing a lot more single highs and cover threes. So obviously Puka Nacua enters the conversation, leads the NFL in target share right now, and obliterates cover threes. So that's a spot where obviously he's very high on. I think he's 8,700 on DraftKings today, right?
He's the highest. I mean, he's the highest priced player on the slate for sure.
Yeah, highest price, and probably for good reason.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say is that Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Hamilton are back today. So this could be a spot where I'm not saying that they're gonna like neutralize Puka Nacua today or anything, but this could slow him down a little bit to the point where you need Puka Nacua to get him. You need Puka Nacua to get you 3.5. And when you're playing 8K or more, you want him to get at least 3.5, the multiplier for them. So who can at least get at least like 28 or 29 for you in this spot? Totally possible because of what I just said about this Ravens defense, and they're just looking at pure mess. They're getting no pass rush right now, and again, they're just allowing a ton of yardage. Stafford, obviously, in play, of course. But the player I want to talk about was Kyren Williams, because Kyren Williams in 11 games where the Rams have a 7-point lead, averages 22.5 fantasy points per game in these spots. So another guy that I probably want to prioritize in my lineups today. Talked about Taylor earlier. I think Kyren falls in that category again because I do think that but Kyren getting usage in the receiving game as well is something that we probably didn't anticipate before the season started. So now I think with Kyren, 6,300 is a great pivot if people are playing Javonte a lot. And it's in that tier where, again, a lot of people are still going cheap running backs. I do like Kyren still in this spot because he's shown us not only that the Rams are trusting him with just the run game right now, but also that he is a receiving threat. The last time we've seen him, two receiving touchdowns. So this is a spot where if everything goes according for the Rams, this could be a spot where, again, like we take advantage of Kyren, pretty much salting the game away late potentially. So I like the spot here. Obviously for the Rams, it's just something where, again, Ravens being at home again is something that is interesting. It's just, again, like who can you really trust when Lamar Jackson is not here? And that's where the bigger questions lie, right? Because Ravens are cheaper across the board, obviously, right? Like Derrick Henry, obviously, like, I mean, anything can happen with Derrick Henry, you know what I'm saying? Obviously. So when he's this cheap, I believe he's what, 6K today? Am I right on that?
6.2.
6.2.
Yeah.
Okay. Still a very contrarian spot, obviously, right?
Yes.
And something where I think it's a contrarian spot of the day, because I do think that with Derrick Henry, obviously he could totally bust to this spot because he can get game scripted out, and that's where I look at Justice Hill, 4,700. But it's like, again, like with Zay Flowers also, in the injury report, that looking weird, he's technically questionable. I'm sure he'll play, but I think they were saying he might be a little bit limited. Then where do they really go? Because outside of him, it's like what Mark Andrews looking like a dust ball. Bateman maybe, but again, like that's not a great spot. Isaiah Likely 2,800 is intriguing in my opinion. If you're looking at somebody that can potentially lift up the offense a little bit, as long as Cooper Rush is starting. I know there's talk about Snoop Huntley potentially, but I don't think that's happening as far as before I checked it today. So again, the Ravens just look like on paper, I just don't want any parts of really, especially, again, Isaiah Likely is probably the only person I think that warranted some type of usage. But again, this is a week before their bye week anyway. Yep. So this could be a spot where they could be like, all right, well, Lamar is hopeful he'll come back after the bye week and stuff like that. And it could just be like, all right, well, if we're not in this thing in the first half, we'll just kind of mail it in late and get ready for, the bye weeks, get us rested and stuff like that. But again, I think I'll take the Rams. I'll take the over in this spot.
I'm just going to, I got to mess with you. That was a lot of words just to say that the Ravens ain't gonna do shit. Oh man, I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself, man. No, like I think like a lot of the stuff, like you said, like Derrick Henry, like it's definitely a contrarian spot to get to today for sure. Don't know if I'll be there. I just think the Rams have been playing good football, and they were somebody that was a little bit lukewarm on obviously coming into the year, but we're in the second quarter, and hey man, like what I'm seeing and what they're showing, all right, I'll buy it. They haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher all season long. Like they've held your favorite fantasy running back in check, and Jonathan Taylor, 76 yards. The one guy that actually slightly popped off was Tony Pollard for 92 yards, and I think we all know that like Derrick Henry doesn't fit that bill. Agree. More Justice Hill, maybe a Keaton Mitchell, like if you're playing in GPP, like from that perspective. Devontae Adams is like grossly underowned today. Coming grossly underowned, 6%. So like that's a really good place for you to get to. It's 6.7. I do agree with Kyren. Kyren is one of the guys that definitely is in my DFS lineups today. I think this is an absolute smash spot for him, like all the way across the board. Then the other part of it too is, my favorite I shouldn't call him mid. My favorite mid DFS fantasy quarterback, Matt Stafford, going against like a team that plays like a lot of man coverage, as you talked about. Should be like a pretty solid spot for him. So I am throwing in a couple. I do have a couple of entries with him in. Obviously with some stacks of Puka and Devontae Adams. So, yeah, I like the Rams in this one right here. Like, I'm not going to try to get cute. I think, like, they just take care of business. I'll take the Rams and I'll take the points. And I'm playing some Kyron Williams, and I would also encourage you to play some Devontae Adams today as well, especially, like, as you mentioned, like, those guys getting a little bit healthier on the defensive side of the ball. Kyron Williams, 6th in the league in rushing. Ravens are 29th. That's the one thing that isn't changing, along with some moves that the Ravens made, trading away one of their defensive linemen and still dealing with some injuries up front. I think, like, if anything is safe in this space, I think it's the Rams run game is what's safe.
Great points, fellas. This one's a little bit at home. I had a longtime roommate just move out, been with me like 15, 20 years. His team's the Ravens, and he's hurt. Yeah. Yeah, they're on pace for 602 points on defense. That would be the highest ever. Their defense is getting smashed. They're averaging 34. They're giving up 34.5 points a game.
Something gross.
Something disgusting. It makes you want to puke 100% for sure. Kyron Williams, definitely, he should have a huge spot. So in my main lineup, I definitely have a piece of Nakua paid up there. Got to do that. The guy's been balling, but I've been building the second one, and Kyron, I'm basing my whole lineup around. So yeah, Kyron should be in the smash spot. Definitely for sure. I like Devontae Adams for an anytime touchdown, and I don't really pick too many touchdown plays. He has been smashing it. I got a few dollars on that as well. So things all like give me the Rams. I guess if I had to pick 7, and I hate that. I'd rather have 6.5 to be safe, but give me the Rams, and you know what? Give me the over on the points. The Rams could have that by themselves.
Love it. Can't hear you.
They have it by themselves. That's crazy. They're at 45 by themselves. Jeez.
They're good.
To the afternoon games we go. We're gonna start with the Titans going to the Raiders. So Titans getting 4.5 on the road, going to Las Vegas. Take on the Raiders. The over under 41.5. With this game, kind of like both of the running backs here, a little sneaky-ish spot. It's gonna be a spot where it's weird to say, but it's like could be a spot where the over hits pretty easily. At least the Titans showed up last week.
Oh man, why are you doing this to this man?
Pour some salt.
Yeah, even though the Cardinals gave away the game, Titans
hey, don't
somehow.
Worry about it. I got killed last night on my show last night. So.
But I think it's an intriguing spot. I think for Genty, 6,900 DraftKings. I do think that he can find his way to getting that in more ways than one. So I think I like him in this spot. Pollard, same thing. Pollard is just one of these underrated backs right now. That's he's 12th in the league right now in rushing yards, but can still get things through getting checked down work. So I'm hoping that they continue to allow him to work. I know Tajay Spears here and stuff like that, but I still think that Pollard is still looking like the workhorse running back. And he's just kind of doing it in a way it's a bit more quieter. We haven't seen like that blow up game for him yet. This could be a spot for him here. Give me the Titans and the points, and I'll give me the over. I think the Raiders, obviously on the other side of things, no Brock Bowers today. Potentially probably out week 7 until probably won't be back till week 9 if you have Brock Bowers. So if you have an opportunity to go pick up Michael Mayer, please do so, because I do think that he's still talented enough to have a decent role. He won't be probably Brock Bowers, but again, he has a solid draft pedigree. It's just taken again. They drafted him first year, and then they drafted Brock Bowers the next. So that being said, I do think this is a spot where the Raiders may funnel his stuff to him as well. Jacoby Myers, same thing, and Trey Tucker. Obviously, you got to look out for those things as well. So I'm hoping it's Jacoby Myers week because Jesus, man, like your guy John, like what's happened with Jacoby over there? Like,
yeah, man, he's been no call, no show, man. Like he hasn't showed up in the I was on him like for sure. And this is one of those situations where I talked about him and I loved him and wanted to draft him. And the nice part about it is like a lot of people beat me to the punch. So all I have is just a bunch of video receipts that said I love Jacoby Myers, but he's not actually on my team. So that's great for me. Like terrible for the advice, but No, like I think like this is definitely a spot where I agree, man. Like I'm definitely in on Ashton Genty this week. And again, like I've been on record for saying like it's not Ashton Genty, the talent that like I don't like. It's the situation that I don't like. But I think this is a really good situation for him today. The Titans have they have let a couple of running backs have some pretty solid games. Obviously, JT 100 yards. It seems like every time like we talk about a team, like JT's like always there. It's always there. JT, Woody Marks had his coming out party against the Titans as well. Kyron had a relatively slow day against him. So I think like again, like this is one of the more talented running backs like they'll see. It is interesting though, man. I like the Titans in this game. I think they should win. I just think they're a better football team. However, like one of the things like with the Titans here in this space too is that the Raiders play a lot of zone defense, and like our guy Calvin Ridley or Alec Amenor, one of those guys. I think there's going to be a receiver on this slate, whether it's on the Titan side or whether it's Tucker or Jacoby Myers. One of these guys is going to have a really monster day. It's just about picking, who is it going to be? And I think like obviously if you look at it and just play it like straight up from like an ownership side of things, oh my God, I'm getting ready to lose my mind with this ownership stuff that I've got here because like some of these players aren't popping and I'm literally ready to lose my mind.
No,
I'm ready to lose my mind. Like this is the second team in a row where like it's the ownerships are not popping. But like, yeah, Calvin Ridley, I think obviously like the tight receivers are in play, right? Something to kind of keep an eye on as well, like from a DFS side of things. It's just like what's happening like at the tight end spot with the Titans with Chig and Gunnar Helm. So like that's something else to be mildly aware of. Not so much on Tony Pollard this week. I know you like him, and I could obviously see a world where like he ends up paying off his price tag, like as far as DFS in this game. I always just worry about when there's two really bad teams. The extremes is like there's two really good teams, and it's like it's going to be a shootout, and then when there's two really bad teams, I always get like because like obviously this could be a game where both teams just turn the ball over all over the field because Cam Ward has a propensity to turn it over. God knows we've seen what Geno Smith can do, like with his turnovers. You know what I mean? So it's this game.
You're wrong about that either.
So like we could very well look up at this game and go, oh man, this was a 13-10 game. Oh, all right, cool. But I do think like this is a spot where Ashton Genty, like I'm all over him, like in this spot here going against the Tennessee Titans today. So give me the Titans, man. I just think the Titans are just a better football team, although it is probably going to be scary hours for Cam Ward and Max Crosby all in his face all day. So should be a relatively intriguing game is what I would say.
Man, I got
all that for a crap game?
Yeah. I got 2 words for Geno Smith from last week. Suck it.
Yes.
My God, he has many touchdowns as we did combined last week, fellas. Yeah. That was horrible. I mean, Marcus Grant could have thrown a touchdown. Oh yeah, that's right. He is Geno Smith. That's right. Okay, all right.
That's our guy, Marcus Grant.
Yeah,
love that guy. Love that guy.
Our guy, though. Like
I like the Raiders.
He probably could have won it. He probably could have won it. I'll call Marcus. Hey, Marcus, you think he could have thrown a touchdown pass last week with the Raiders?
We just all we need is one.
Yeah, I thought so.
You see, five could have came out of retirement, man. And we didn't even run halfback pass in high school, man. If we ever ran it, we had to run it at the beginning of the game because your boy can't throw.
Well, that's funny. I got an arm. You can have my arm, man. I've always had an arm. You can have my arm, brother. I can't really move, but you can have my arm. But I like the Raiders in this game for DFS play. Cheap play. Some you can lower down. Yeah, they haven't really done much, but I mean, they're playing the Titans. They're known for turnovers with Ward. That's one play I like. They're relatively cheap. I think I don't know the exact number, but I know it was in the bottom third as far as prices.
It might have been like 2,400 or something.
Yeah, like that, so right that's one thing I like there. I love the running back, the rookie Genty. The Titans are third or fourth worst in the league against running backs as far as rushing. Then with the Ravens is third and fourth. So with Williams, but Genty can definitely have a big game in this one too. He's one of my legs and one of my bets. And Raiders D and a crap game. Right, puke, right?
All right, here we go. It finally popped. All right, so Jacoby Myers, 4% owned. Calvin Ridley. Nobody's even playing Calvin Ridley.
No way.
So there's your spot right there. Like literally, and it's a lot of it's probably the fact that like it's the 4:00 game, but he's 4,900 on DraftKings right now at 0.46% owned. So like
I got an interesting thought. We're all great minds. I mean, I know it's not part of your show, but maybe we can build a lineup together sometime.
I,
That'd be
I
kind of cool.
literally like the thought like crossed my mind, and I'm like, okay, but like, okay, how do we make this happen? But like, I like that, man. Like, I like that. Maybe,
Like
maybe we can find the time and the space to make that happen.
just
Yeah,
sometime. Yeah, if
yeah. No, I
vice
like it.
versa, I think it would be cool with all of us if we
Yeah,
collaborated and build a
yeah.
lineup like while we're doing a show. That'd be great.
I
We could,
like it. I like that.
Yeah,
Man.
totally, yo. We'll totally
yeah,
make that happen.
all of our minds, 3 great minds, man. You never know. I mean, I'd rather do that than buy a lottery ticket. Our heads.
Yeah, same,
Yeah, right?
same.
To another like one-sided game.
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have today.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
Bengals are getting 14.5 going on the road to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers. 44.5 is the over-under. Yeah, this spot just screams like, a game where this can just go weirdly. Like, I know Joe Flacco's starting today via trade, obviously, within the division. And, I don't know, man. I just feel Packers coming off the bye.
Yep.
14.5 is a lot.
Yes.
So the Bengals have they haven't given us anything to be like, all right, we're gonna this. I say 14.5 is a lot. If I find out that the Bengals are giving them a little bit of a run, I might just go in and do a little live bet for the spread. But I'm not taking either side for the points because I expect the Packers to win this game. Alpha by them fresh, them and Michael Parsons. As I get news about Alvin Kamara being officially active today, for the Saints. But as far as this game goes, yeah, like Michael Parsons for me, like they got to find him, get him back on his level because last time we saw Michael Parsons, he was ineffective against the Dallas Cowboys. And then also Christian Gonzalez is active for New England today. So it could be a long day for Chris Olave. But yeah, like, look, all to say that Green Bay is going to win this game, and they should win. I just don't know 2 touchdowns a lot because I know Green Bay, they're going to like to salt away the game. They're going to want to run the ball with Josh Jacobs, keep this thing efficiently good, and then expect, when they score, it's the Bengals that's going to have to try to keep up. So as far as the Jamar Chase stuff and as far as the Cincinnati offense goes, like, are we any confident that it gets fit from a fantasy, like, futures perspective? Like, is this a spot where, again, I think I talked about this before with you, John, about Jamar Chase and, like, how, like, people should go out and get some type of value for him if people were, like, offering him up. Was this a spot still that you would still tell people, like, hey, like, keep Chase because you won't get anything good for him? Or is it more like you got to make a move, you have to make a move in general? And then what are we doing with Chase Brown, Like,
Yeah.
That's right,
yeah. That's yeah. Well, I will like. There's a couple things like I'll say that like Jamar Chase, like I'll still stand on it, man. Like because I have fell victim of it before, like as a fantasy manager, being like, oh well, the quarterback, So like let me move off of this prime piece, right? And like we seen last week, like if Jamar Chase can do that with Jake Browning and Joe Flacco's not much better, so I'll keep it in perspective. But at least he's like he understands the concept of playing quarterback, and he's played quarterback like at a high level. So if all it takes is one play, right? Like that's all it takes, like for Chase is one play. So like I like Chase's odds better with Flacco, even though statistically, like it might balance out to be like, oh, Jake Browning is just as good, or maybe even a little bit better. Like you can make numbers say anything you want them to say. You can make them say anything you want them to say. And I just don't think you'll be able to get back like adequate value for Jamar Chase. And then the other part of this too is like, if Jamar Chase goes out and balls out today, then like, yes, I think like, okay, you can absolutely now start to open the door up for conversations on moving him away to get adequate value. So like, that's where I'm at. I personally like, depending on how roster is constructed. And again, I'm just going off of my one roster that I have Jamar Chase on. The roster that I have Jamar Chase on, like I have no need to move off of him. Like I have no need to move off of him because of the way that it's constructed. But if you have Jamar Chase and you're 1-4, 0-5, 2-3, like something in that space, all right, you obviously got to be open for trade talks with anybody like at that point. So I think that's something like just to think about. So this is one of those places where like I'm not going to definitively say, yes, you need to trade him. No, you need to trade him. I think, again, it's all about the context of like your team, your record. But I personally still would hold on Jamar Chase because I just think like you can't give somebody else that type of a player because more likely than not, the team that he's going to be going to is probably way better than yours. And you're probably just shooting off this other team into the entire stratosphere, and the rest of your league is like donezo. So Chase Brown today, I like Chase Brown. I like him in the receiving game. So like I think that's a place where like maybe we could see things start to pick up for him. So I think like this could be a revival for him. And I think after this week, like probably not going to be able to get him for the super ultra buy low that you would have been able to get him for probably at the start of the week. So I think that 14 points is a lot, especially with the weapons that they have. And we've seen what Dallas just put out there as a product a couple of weeks ago against the Cowboys. So I think there's a lot of opportunity. This game could go a lot of different ways. Josh Jacobs is definitely the guy for me. Like he's another one of my absolute smashes in this space here. Like we could very well look up today and go, all right, Jordan Love had 4 touchdowns. Or we could say Josh Jacobs had 4 touchdowns. However, the one underrated aspect of Josh Jacobs' game, and even this was even the case last year, I think, because like when you even talk about his receiving yards from last year, it's like, oh, really? But like right now, he's 6th in receiving yards per pass play.
Crazy.
Cincinnati is 27th in receiving yards allowed per pass play to running backs. So like from a prop perspective, you could go there, but even just from like a DFS perspective, right on DraftKings, like he's going to give you something or should be giving you something in the passing game. So I think like that's an interesting spot. And then, man, my guy, Romeo Dobbs, baby, I'm playing him today too. Yeah, I'm playing him today too. For sure. Yeah, man. Yeah, boy. Yeah. So I'm definitely doing that. And I even tried to find a way like on FanDuel to work in some Jamar Chase for sure. Oh, smell that?
I can't. I've been a Romeo Doubs guy. I can't.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs going to eat today. 2 or 3 touchdowns. Put money on it. He could have a scatterboo type of game. He totally could. The Green Bay's getting 2 of their starting offensive linemen back as well this week, guys. Jacobs in the spot to eat. Yeah, totally. I love that. And we have this
unofficial play, but because it's pretty juice. But Jacobs minus 260 anytime touchdown scorer right now. I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So
the value I like is Tucker Kraft. He's not official like that for me officially, but plus 180. Saw him like 175, I think, on FanDuel earlier. Okay. So yeah, I do like that spot too.
Yeah, we have this retirement community down the street from me. It's called Sun City. If Joe Flacco can help that offense, he's going to help. Give me the plus 14.5. I'll do that. That's a high number, and I'm not a truther about that team. So, Jacobs going to eat. They're getting 2 linemen back. And as far as your point with Chase, John, if you were throwing the ball, you wouldn't trade Chase anyway. So, I mean, right?
No.
Right.
No way. Like, no way, man. I can't man. I can't in my mind envision a scenario. I mean, I would have to be getting a haul back to even open that up, man, for conversation. Yeah. But again, man, I've been well documented again as being very stubborn and very old man and being you know what, I believe in the product that I drafted and I don't care. Yeah. I always say, you want to irritate me, send me some trades, man. Send me shitty trades. That's a good way to irritate me.
So I'm in one of my dynasty leagues. I'm trying to get Chase.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him. And the guy that has him's bad. He's 1-4.
Yeah.
Right. Chase is at $10 for 2 years left. How much should I give up?
Okay.
Auction salary is $300. So that's really cheap. And it's 2 years.
That's very cheap.
That is. That's, man.
Well, is 2 first too much? Is a first and second? The guy's wanting the house for him. And,
what's your record?
I don't blame him. I would want the house too.
What's your record right now?
I think I got 2 or 3 wins in that league. I'm right in the middle of the pack.
But
I'm second highest points in the league. So
I mean, I would say if you think you can win it all, man, and you think those picks next year are gonna be, and I don't play a ton of dynasty, man. I think I have 2 dynasty rosters, man. So I'm really not your guy for that right there. But just me being all right, if I can get Jamar Chase in a dynasty setting, right. That's a little bit different.
What do you think, Nick? Do you think a first and a second or 2 firsts is too much to give up for Chase? $10, 2 years on a contract, salary cap's $300.
Yeah, first and second is fine. For a talent like Jamar Chase, look, we all know what he is with Burrow. I think you got to pay the piper in this type of situation. It just becomes a lot more trickier in a redraft scenario because it's you can overall just say that he can still, he still has some value for redraft, but not as highly as touted as he would be. So for dynasty purposes, it becomes a lot more trickier. But I would say a first second, I would have no problem trying to trade for Chase. If he wants anything more and significant than that, I wouldn't. Because I'm just look, I'll go out and see if I can get CeeDee Lamb right now on cheap. I'd go out and see if I can get Justin Jefferson maybe. Right. Just if I really want a receiver talent. So there's other ways around it. So that's why I would be just not so in love with trying to send the house for a player that I know that right now is a middling wide receiver 2 based on game by game projections, but obviously can be a wide receiver 1 at any point. So it's just one of those games you don't want to consistently play with because it's 1 week, like I said, Jamar Chase could come out and do 4 catches for 68 yards today, and they'd be, see the Cincinnati offense, even with Flacco, this, that, and third. So just remember, people, that the overall week-to-week thing of this game, we play fantasy football. Just remember that things get fickly every other week. Because some people overall just be hey, this is the third, whatever. And about certain players, whatever. So
Nick, you make a great point. It's a week-to-week game. I have all my friends and people that hit me up for questions, and they're worried if they start off slow. I'm the first four weeks, it's just a blemish. It's just this is when it starts. It's how you finish.
Yes,
I've won plenty of leagues where I started out 1-5, 1-6. It's how you finish, and you're totally right. It's week by week, definitely.
All you got to do is get in.
Oh, totally. Before we get to the last game of at least of this segment, George Play's got a question for us. One of our favorites of the show. He unfortunately still plays in standard. So
hey, I got one league. I got one league that's standard.
I can't, man. No, I got rid of all my standard leagues. Can't do it anymore.
It's a 30-year-old league. I've been in it for 25 years. So
all these people that change their minds, man. Jeez.
I agree with you. I think PPR is worth
hey, if you ever win your league, hey, we're changing this format. If I win this league, we're changing this format. But yeah, he has a question on a non-PPR, obviously standard situation for the flex. Ooh. Ladd, Haskins, or Henderson. Ooh. I'll say, did we get news on the Quentin Johnson?
I was just about to
Haskins. The one thing we did get was I don't know if it was Schefter, but I got something on alert that said Haskins is gonna be the lead back today. So take that as you will.
Yeah, it was Scheffner. It just said it right here. Yep, you're totally right.
What? That Haskins going to be starting? Yeah, that makes sense.
Lead role, yeah. But then their coach yesterday said, did you hear what the coach said yesterday? They're both going to have huge.
They're going to play a high hand today. I already knew that coming into it.
Ooh, Quentin Johnson is out. Quentin Johnson is out. Yeah,
he's officially out.
Yep.
So it's Ladd for me. I think in a game where I do think, like I said, the game can get a bit hairier. You know what I'm saying? For the Chargers, them having to get the ball out a little more quickly. They'll want to establish the run at first. But I do think this is a situation where Ladd can have a nice game here. Potentially score a touchdown here as well.
Okay.
I just don't know what I have in Haskins or Vidal. I really got to see it first. You know what I'm saying? I just got to be reacting to this situation because I've picked up more Vidal than I have Haskins just because I know that Vidal should be playing that receiver role. But obviously in standard format, you want the touchdown. So I think Ladd could still have the touchdown here with a decent amount of volume here. I love Henderson. I just, again, I got to see how it now pans out with this first week. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep affording to start Henderson knowing that he may only get 30 yards rushing because Stevenson's stealing the goal line work constantly. So it's a weird spot for Henderson right now, but it's still a wait and see approach because we could see it this week. It could happen. But not to sound like a broken record. Oh, it could happen this week. It could happen this week. It could happen this week. But it's more hey, Henderson's still a talent that you still spend draft capital on. So you have to see if your investment is going to come out or not. But like I said, for this week, for this question, give me Ladd.
Yeah.
Everyone agree?
No, Johnson. Yeah, I agree with you. Even with the Haskins news being the starter, if you don't know certain, I kind of want to stay away from that backfield. Let's go, Lad. I'm down with that. I'm totally down with that. It's going to be his day, I believe.
Swanson in the chat. What up, Swanson? You got any questions for us? You let us know, my guy. Or if you just come here to heckle, whichever one.
He's a heel. He's a heel.
To the last game we go, talking at least at this slate. Catch us later on today where we talk about the Sunday night football game between the Lions and the Chiefs. We'll talk about this last game. We'll talk about the props I got for you guys this week and anything last minute DFS that you guys want to talk about. So Niners getting 3.5 on the road going to Tampa Bay. Over under 46.5. And with this game, I see Mac Jones's passing yards line creeping up all the time. Keep it going. And for good reason. It's for good reason. I mean, it's Tampa is, allowing, they're the second worst in pass defense when it comes to EPA per drop back. So with Mac Jones, now starting for this Niners team, Pearsall today, Juwan Jennings is back today for the Niners. So this should be a spot where Juwan Jennings, I believe he's 4,800.
Yeah.
On DraftKings today.
You're right.
I think this is a good spot for him, and a spot where I know people were like, "Oh, Jennings this and Jennings that," whatever. We were flip-flopping back and forth between those guys. Like we love Jennings in the beginning of the offseason, then all of a sudden, the contract, this, that, the third, the injury, whatever. But now no Ricky Pearsall today. I think Kendrick Bourne is still startable, but I'm going to take the flyer on Jennings if I put like a nice little single entry or, just totally off the map GPP play. This could totally be a spot for him. Yep, I believe Jake Funches is definitely a tight end one this week. Yep. I've talked about him in my tight end articles before, in which, like, if you needed help at tight end, like Kittle, he was someone to watch out for as long as Kittle was out. Kittle is still out today. I think he's a spot where if you're in a spot for season longs or you just want to play him today for DFS purposes, that's totally a good spot to play in as well. So yeah, I mean, look, in this game, in Baker Mayfield, just to give you guys a little bit of a preview for the bets, I got him over 240.5 passing yards. Me and John talked about this last week, where it's like Baker's going to keep on pushing the game. Like in games like this, where this could be a nice little spot where the over hits easily. I do like the spot for Baker here as well, like with the Niners, because obviously no Nick Bosa. Without Nick Bosa, this Niners unit becomes a unit where it's still more middle of the pack when it comes to their defenses and not enough pressure when it comes to their front seven. So in this spot, give me the Bucks minus 3.5. I do think that with Baker, he obviously has Emeka Egbuka. Obviously, Sterling Shepard gets into the mix now because there's no Mike Evans, obviously. And I do think that the Niners have been very susceptible to slot receivers. So I do like the spot on technically both sides. I'm interested to see if Kendrick Bourne once again becomes a thing, because that'd be something very interesting to keep tabs on because of the Mac Jones and the former New England connection. But yeah, look, McCaffrey 8,400 on DraftKings today becomes a guy that, because he's just getting there with the volume. The concern for me for McCaffrey over time is that, like, he just hasn't gotten the rushing yards there. And obviously this unit today is not a good one to try to do that against. Vita Vea and these Bucks, the front seven. So I think McCaffrey could still get you there. There's probably, in my opinion, still a little bit more floor than there is a ceiling today, but that could change with 2 touchdowns. So what do we say about this game, y'all?
Mac Jones is my quarterback in DraftKings for the 2 lineups that I am playing today on DraftKings, single entry. So Mac Jones is my quarterback in that space because, again, the Buccaneers so far, man, every quarterback they played has so far this year none of them have had less than a 90 QB rating. So there's definitely going to be points to be had in this space. Fungies is the tight end for me as well. So I'm doing that. I'm also obviously rolling with Emeka Egbuka. It's kind of hard to get away from him in that spot. And man, any game that Baker Mayfield's in, bro, it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be entertaining. McCaffrey, I agree with you. It's going to be more about the receiving aspect of things from him as versus the rushing side of things. So I think there's that. 49ers have actually done really good against against tight end. So like, don't think K. Dotton is really in play for me. Like if you're kind of thinking about trying to find a different direction to get different in this game. But like Mac Jones, nobody's playing Mac Jones today. And like if this is a game that does do what it you too? I love it, my man. If this game does, man, I do, man. I got nothing but love for you, bro.
My peeps.
If this
when we ever go out to Arizona, Haywood's got a spot for us to chill at. Got it.
Yeah, man. Actually, no, man. My niece lives out there too, man. So,
nice.
Even better. See,
yeah. But no, like I love this spot, like overall, just for Mac Jones. I love this spot, like for Jawan Jennings. I was just trying to figure out like the two lineups. I flipped Jawan Jennings and Calvin Ridley were the two places that like I've went. So we'll see how that goes as far as like kickoff and whatnot. But then like again, man, like flipping it over this game. This is the game where Rashad White 25% on, McCaffrey 24, Abuka 22, and then Baker Mayfield is 13%. So I think like the biggest part of this, right, is like getting it right from the stack side of things. Like if you're running a stack with Mac Jones in anything, might also be a place where maybe, who knows, man, and he might be okay naked. Like we don't know, man. So I think this is my favorite game to get to. So give me in this game. I'm gonna take the Bucks. Still, I still think they find a way to pull it out. So yeah.
Get those teams losing that NFC West. Thank you.
It's funny, actually. Swanson is like a diehard 49ers fan. So this is yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Got my Larry Centers.
Larry Centers, baby.
Wow.
Man.
I didn't know that was your jersey. Oh my
yes.
goodness.
Okay. All right.
My favorite player of all time.
OG
Wow.
veteran, baby. Let's go.
Wow.
Man, if PPR was back then, he'd be top 5 all time, bro.
Crushed.
He would have crushed it. Man, that's crazy. Y'all know who that is. Oh, that's awesome. Love it. Yeah, Mac Jones, Johnny Main. Your info turned me on to him for my main daily lineup. So that's somebody that's been smashing. If you look at his stats when he plays, man, he plays better when he's hurt, when he's healthy. It seems like. But yeah. Oh, thank you very much, man. This is one of my pride and joys. I don't wear this very often, so this is a special day on my fellas. So I got to bust out. I got my RVD tag on.
Put the ones up.
Yeah, let's go.
RVD tag,
yeah, that's right. I got a little special gift.
I seen that in the background. I was like, am I tripping? I was like, no. I was like, that looks like
real deal, dude.
Okay.
That's
an Eagle championship.
What's up? All right.
You're among your brethren.
Yes.
Just for you guys, man.
Yes.
That's the childhood title belt right there.
That's right. Definitely. Yeah, dude. Hey, you guys go to wrestling events still? You guys do that? If they ever
they press me out, so
I'm going to
press me out. I just watch it. I'll watch it, but yeah.
I'm not going to like a WWE one, but me and my youngest daughter, we're going to. Oh my God, I can't even remember the name of it. Oh, Big Time Wrestling. Kurt Angle's gonna be there. Oh man, who else? It's Kurt Angle, Tony Atlas, like some of the old, the OGs are gonna be there or whatever. So this will be like a chance for her to like get up close and personal and see like all the action. So I'm so pumped for it, man. The only it's November 1st.
Huh.
You guys in the same area or different areas?
Yeah, we Northeast boys. So Johnny's in Maine, I'm in Connecticut. So actually, I might have to make an appearance on that one. Who knows? Maribel's going to a Colts game soon, though.
Yeah. They're going to watch the Colts and 49ers. I told them, let me hit on one of these props or dailies, and I'll pay for the price of admission. We get a
big time parlay. You know what I'm saying?
I think that could be another great idea. We could build our own parlay if you guys ever want me back on later. Or I think that collaborating is an awesome thought.
It is.
Totally.
I'm game for that, brother.
Totally. So we all got the Bucks.
Yep.
Yeah, Bucks and definitely.
All right. Core for betting plays for week 6. In Nick's Prop Shop, we are 33-20. I'm on a heater, baby.
Keep it up, baby.
I'm on a heater, baby. I just tried to make John smirk. But that being said, we are looking to continue things going. So, been tailing, kudos. If you haven't been, the hell are you doing? That being said, got 2 plays from the same game. I got George Pickens and I got Jake Ferguson over their receiving yards props. So Pickens over 70.5 and Jake Ferg 50 or more. Obviously talked about it earlier with Dak Prescott. His deep throw rate increases against cover 3s, where the Panthers play the most coverage in. They are a top 5 pass funnel unit. So I'm looking for both of these guys to hit their marks. Because their usage bumps have been increased, obviously without CeeDee Lamb, these are the guys that are going to get the ball from Dak Prescott, who is also, again, on a heater. So those are 2 of the 4 of the core betting plays. The other 2, I have Tyler Warren, 50 receiving yards. Talked about that earlier again with the Cardinals playing cover 4. The deep ball rate for Daniel Jones decreases, then the short intermediate stuff increases. So Tyler Warren should be a total benefit from this spot, as well as they play action plays as well. So I think Tyler Warren, this line's a little bit too low for him. So I'm taking that over on DraftKings. Last one for the core 4 before I get to the other ones. I got Baker Mayfield over 240.5 pass yards. We talked about this before. Baker Mayfield is going to keep on pushing. Without Bucky Irving, it seems that's where the usage has started to go to, with Baker just consistently throwing the football, being one of the better teams in the league in terms of just throwing the football from an attempt perspective. So we need Baker Mayfield over 240. This line's a little too low. This should be at least 265 in a game where, again, the Niners don't have as much pass rush as they used to, especially without Nick Bosa. And this game, again, could be a spot where it's a nice sneaky spot for the over-under. The other plays I got outside the core 4 plays are Michael Mayer, 4 catches or more. This is a spot where Titans allow at least 5 receptions to tight ends every single game so far, with the main tight ends starting tight ends hitting that line in 3 of the last 4 games. So give me Michael Mayer. I do think this offensive line for the Raiders is a spot where they're going to be looking to try to still keep things short and intermediate for Geno, get things out quickly. And, either when they get a spot, they'll try to look for Trey Tucker down the field, obviously, but then Jacoby Myers and Michael Mayer and stuff like that should be utilized in ways where they can move the football down the field. Same game, I got Tony Pollard anytime touchdown. Like I talked about earlier, Pollard is 12th in rushing yards in the NFL currently. And again, we just seen the usage in both the rushing game and some of the receiving game as well. So I do think there's pathways for both of these. There's a pathway for in both ways where it becomes a rushing or receiving for Pollard to get there. Last but not least, Chase Brown, 4 catches or more. This is a spot where obviously we talked about the spread between the Bengals and the Packers being 14.5. Anytime you hear stuff like that, you want pass catching running backs because they're going to either be most likely playing from behind from a game script perspective, or if somehow they keep it close, they're heavily involved. We all know the route trees are pretty simple for the Bengals, even with Flacco in. With Chase, Higgins, it's going to be Chase Brown, probably a sprinkle of either Noah Fant or Michael Gesicki. So, again, another offense that's going to want to get the ball out quickly, so I should definitely favor Chase Brown here. So, good morning, Snoop. Appreciate you coming on.
My boy. That's my brother from a different mother, man. That's one of my best
Please
friends.
subscribe to the channel. And if there's stuff, I know Haywood's here because you're here for Haywood. We appreciate that. If there's stuff that we can collaborate on or whatever, or you're open to whatever, let us know. We out here. So, but that being said, what else we got, fellas? Anything else to go over? You guessed it, final thoughts?
If I could step back, folks, right? Sure. Listen to Nick on his bets, man. He's made me a few dollars. I'm going to ride that Warren one. I really like that one. So, you've been doing great lately, and this is coming from a guy that's, my source of income used to be betting. Now I went back to work recently because of what's going on with my dog. But dude, he knows what he's talking about.
What's wrong with your dog?
I had to go back to work. So I was self-employed, doing great on betting, and he got cancer. So all my bankroll went to him. So I had to go back to work. So I went.
Let's talk after your show. I think I got something to.
He's got potential. All right. Yeah. He got cancer. So unfortunately, and I know that sits at home with you. So
sure does. So sorry to hear about that. That's crazy.
But yeah,
tough.
no, listen to this guy when it comes to his bets. And this is coming from a guy
listen to John. Yeah, listen to John when it comes to his bets. you pointed out to him.
Well, on my screen,
that's me. That's me right there.
Listen to this guy too.
Yeah.
No,
typically, like I tell you, I typically don't have enough time to throw in prop bets. I typically don't. Like if I do, like that's a blessing if I have time to throw in any prop bets.
Oh my goodness.
Final thoughts. I just want to say it's a blessing. Thank you for having me on. I had a blast, and I normally don't. I would never get up at 6 a.m., but I'll do it for you guys. So, Snoop, yeah. I taught him everything he knows, though.
Hey, Snoop, that's how I feel against John, you know?
I love it. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Listen, you know what, Hayward? You know how we do, man. You know, we just sit back in the cut, man, and we let it happen, man. You know, we let it happen, and can't be denied, baby. Can't be denied.
Well, hell, right now my cup is empty. Damn you, Snoop.
Oh, shoot. So is mine, pretty much, bro.
Yeah,
so
right.
Any final thoughts? Any last bit of DFS advice for anyone out there before we get out of here?
No, I would just say, like, just obviously, man, like, make sure, just fundamental stuff. Make sure you have, like, your 4 o'clock players in the flex, for sure. And then, just be aware of what's going on. Check ownership, check injuries, check weather. But like, I think today should be a pretty fun slate, and I'm actually like excited to get back in the mix after 2 rough weeks.
I'm here to save the day. We're gonna win. We're gonna win.
I love it.
We're gonna win. Good mojo. Hey guys, thank you so much for having me on.
Any locks of the slate? Any locks of the slate for you all? I'm going Jonathan Taylor.
So if I have my main day DFS lineup, I have Mac Jones, Jacobs, Genty, Ibuka, Pittman Jr., Diggs, McBride, Raiders D, and I got Vidal in there. I might have to change that up after this morning, but those are ball players I like. I got my props posted up on Twitter for my podcast. The Pick Is In, which you can watch every Saturday night, 11 p.m. EST. Maybe we'll have these guys on. That'd be great.
Maybe me. Johnny goes to bed pretty late.
Saturdays. I'm in the trap house, man. I'm a corporate man. So Monday through Friday, man, it'd be a real struggle.
The Bears beating the Commanders, Snoop.
He's old school.
To be politically correct.
Hey, Indians, Guardians, come on.
Love it.
I don't know. I mean, hey, like you have to find out tomorrow about what we stand on that game because there's 2 of them Monday night. And if you want to talk to Sunday Night Football, we got that later on this evening as well. So check your listings, as they say. We just come back to our channel and be live. But yeah, look, we had a great show here. Look forward to having Haywood on again real soon. And again, if you ain't following him on X, please do so. If you ain't liking, subscribe to the channel. What are you doing? That being said, we out of here. We out. We see y'all later this afternoon. Peace.